Hello, everybody. This is Sree. You are on Biz Buzz, what matters the most in business, and sponsored by My Work Belt. My Work Belt is the all-in-one productivity software, particularly catering to service-based small businesses. And as always, and today I have Craig Andrews. Craig is a principal ally at Allies for me and a great coach and mastermind in marketing and business management. How are you doing? How are you doing?
Sure, I'm doing wonderfully, and it's always look forward to our conversations.
So, what are we talking today?
So we're going to talk. I guess we're talking about cybersecurity, which is really more of a specialty of yours,
Yeah.
and basically about what do you do when people don't want to buy your product or service? So you brought up. I think the way our conversation began was you brought up cybersecurity, and I just kind of groaned because I've worked in that space. I said, "Oh, it's just a horrible place to market because everybody thinks they're not going to be a victim until they are." I
And take the case. The reason I brought up the cybersecurity is it is a holiday season.
Yeah,
And as holiday season, we all know the lot of business activity goes in on the consumer side of it. And a lot of small businesses are heavily focused on how do I get my products out there and be available for the consumers to buy them as gifts, right? But at the same time, a lot of cyber criminals are aware that there is everybody's running on a fast train and nobody's paying attention to the details. So they mark the actual transactions and trap the users, consumers, and small businesses to hack on them, right? Now, that is actually a challenge as of today. What we are trying to come across here is cybersecurity threats can be avoided by mm, taking different preventive measures. Most importantly, small business need to recognize the need for having cybersecurity insurance,
yeah.
right? So you are in the marketing space, right? Tell me what do you see the hurdles of selling the cybersecurity liability insurance?
Well, I think a lot of people think it's not going to happen to me, so why should I buy it? They think it's a problem that the bigger companies face. And I know that's not true, but that's what they believe.
And I have friends who are in the insurance industry. They voice the same concern. We can't sell the cybersecurity liability insurance. And they come to me, hey, you are the expert in IT industry. Why don't you tell my prospects? Can you tell my prospects what is the need for it? Why is it important that they need to buy it? Right? Otherwise, if they are selling a P&C, they don't come to me,
Right.
right? But why? The reason here is the market doesn't perceive the need for that particular product or service. Whereas the service providers, insurance companies, insurance agents, and IT professionals like me, we all believe that is necessary in order for relieving them from catastrophe in case of any ransomware attack. And it's an expensive situation to come back. And there are many, many cases the small businesses are devastated and close the doors and walked out because of these ransomware attacks. I have personally seen multiple number of cases like that, right? But
Well, I mean, I know a story of a dry cleaner that got a ransomware attack.
yeah,
And if you picture a dry cleaner, you have, thousands of garments on this little rail system. If you can't get into your computer, if one of your customers comes in and they're trying to pick up their suit for an important event or meeting or whatever, and you're like, it's somewhere out there, but I don't know because my computer's been ransomed.
They
And
don't have
so,
multiple computers. They have only one computer, maybe if not two computers. That's about it.
so I guess here's my question to you. So obviously, if a small dry cleaner can be a victim of, cyber attack, ransomware, anybody can, but you keep running into this resistance. How do you approach that? How do you deal with that resistance where, whether it's the insurance or whether it's hardening people's systems to protect them?
As a service provider, cybersecurity insurance, as of right now, my observation is they are going away. They going at all the clientele and market, educating. Right. For the last 5 years, I have seen enormous amount of effort by these insurance companies educating their prospects. You are creating a new market at that point of time. Now, where I'm going with it, as the as the theme of our topics here, the the audience here, they have to take a hard look at their services and products that they're selling. There is always, if you're offering 5 different products or services, there's always one product or service that doesn't move, and you don't want to get rid of it because it is just, I know it is needed in the market, but it doesn't move. So
Yeah.
it's important to talk to a third party or get a third party assessment to make a hard look at it. Is it this product or service that I perceive that as a need in the market, but does market see that as a need? It is all about, in the past, if you look at it, there was a wildly popular phrase in business world, at least when I was in India: find a need, fill it.
Yeah.
And but then later on, that certain improved. But after I came to US, I see an improved version of the same phrase: find a perceived need and fill it.
Right.
Is the business motto, right? Now, when you think that your product or service is necessary or a need in the market, and when the market doesn't perceive that as a need for them, no matter how hard you push it, it doesn't go.
Yeah. So what do you recommend doing at that point? So, and I guess here's some of my struggle with this. People don't perceive a need for, cyber liability insurance or even so, or let's say cyber hardening, so do you cut those services? I mean, it's important, it's essential, but if you can't sell it, do you cut that as a service?
That's the thing. So, sir, you have to cut the service. But when you take a critical analysis or critical look at it, what is wrong here? You will have two outcomes. One, there is not enough market for that product or service, at least in your service. Two, there is not enough understanding of the product or service.
Hmm.
You can push it. Now, when you find the later is the reason, who comes into the picture? People like you who can make it a right message, and you change the message that you are going with into the product, into the market for that product or service. Now, all of a sudden, aha moment comes in for all the prospects. And they say, aha, now I know why you're trying to sell that to me.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, it becomes easy. But if you don't do a critical look at it, critical analysis, critical thinking about why this product or service is not moving, number one, it is lucrative for me. And number two, I know this is needed in the market. When you have those two strong cases, just giving up is not necessarily the option.
Mm.
Taking a critical analysis as to what is going on here, what do we need to do? And then once you find, ah, people don't know about it, people are not seeing the value of this product or service because they have not gotten that whip on the back yet. Now you go to people like Greg Andrews. Hey, how am I going to put my message? Now I know they they need it, and I have a sincere heart to protect them or provide them this valuable product or service. Tell me how to do it. Now, Greg Andrews, Allies for Me, or all these marketing people, marketing gurus, they are all smart people how to spin the message. Once they know what exactly the bottleneck, what is the misunderstanding in the market, right?
Yeah.
That is what my recommendation to the market and to the audience that are listening. Is that
Well,
answers the question?
that does. Well, and it's such an important point. It's because at some point, ultimately you have to meet the customer where they are, but you also have to, I think what you're saying is educate them for what they need. And when I think about that, what you're really talking about, Sree, is just building that relationship of being a trusted advisor.
Indeed. Fundamentally, it goes. Well, pretty much all the marketing efforts, all the messaging efforts, all the sales efforts, everything goes to the fundamental trust. If there is no trust, there is no dialogue. Even if there is a dialogue without trust, the dialogue is just nothing but a fluff.
Yeah.
Right. So, how do you build the trust is necessary, but at the same time, are you open enough? That this is the question we have to ask ourselves. Are you open enough to take a critical look at our product or service that is not moving? Is it that we are blindly pushing, or is it that our message is wrong, or what do we need to do? Now, in this particular situations, I go towards having a third party look at it. We all talk about it. Hey, have a second pair of eyes when you are creating a document, right?
Yeah.
You are preparing the plan of pushing this product or service to the market. Now, have a second pair of eyes and be open to take that critique.
Yep.
That critique may come back and say, hey, you're going in a completely wrong direction. There is no need for that product or service in the market at all. You are just going to dump a ton of money and time, waste your energy. And we have to be strong enough to say, accept it. That is a better pill to swallow because we all have emotions to the products and services that we create. But that's a better pill to swallow and move on. Or maybe sometimes you prepare all the material, you prepare all the product, you prepare the services, and everything is ready to go, but you just have to wait for the market to be ready.
Yeah.
Am I right? That
Yeah.
could be another possibility.
Yeah, and that's sunk a lot of companies. I mean, I have a buddy who tried to bring streaming radio to the world back in 2008. Um, right
But now
product,
everything,
wrong.
whole world is on streaming video, streaming
Yeah,
radio. Go ahead. You're saying something.
yeah. No, it's right product, wrong time. And I think you're right. That third set of eyes can come in and because when we have a product or service that we're pushing, we usually have a deep love for it, right? And the a third party doesn't have the emotional connection that we have, and they can offer a perspective and just say, I think you love your product more than the customers love the product, or you love your service more than the customers love the service.
Here is the challenge I see, though. I know we are going a little more than what we normally do, 10 minutes back. But here is the challenge I see, though. Is small business owners or is small business entities, are they willing to pay a dollar or a dime to have the third party to come in and critique their service? It's not going to come free. If
Right.
it comes free, it ain't be a genuine critique, right? In order for
Yeah.
you to have an unbiased opinion, you need to bring somebody who is unbiased, who is not related to you, who doesn't know, who doesn't care what you think about their report. And those consultants don't come cheap,
Right. Exactly.
right? So it is two different challenges that I see in the small business environment. One, they are not open for that critique or for having that second pair of eyes to look at that product and service. Two, why am I paying for somebody to kill me?
Yeah. 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 No, and that's hard because sometimes when you bring in the consultant, sometimes they deliver bad news.
Well, they deliver bad news, but guess what? I'm actually have to pay for you to give me bad news,
Yeah.
right? So this is the difficult positions that we all go through. It's just nothing to do with small business or large corporations. All human beings have that challenge because, as you just said a minute ago, we love our product and service that we wanted to bring into the market, and we have emotional attachment to it.
Yeah.
So, as a conclusion, what I'm trying to give you is here is hopefully all the people who are watching this episode can take a look at it. They, if there is a product or service is not moving in the direction that you wanted to move, have a have a third party to come take a critical look at it and give you their unbiased perspective. While they do that, you be open to pay for it. And while they give you the report, you be open to take a bitter pill and swallow it if it is bitter. And if it is something that a message that needed to be changed or some sort of minor tweaks that needed to be changed, be open to go to an expert and make those messaging tweaks and enjoy the benefit of that product and service. Opposed to get frustrated and stressed out.
No, absolutely. That's good advice.
Excellent. I hope everybody enjoyed today's episode. Thank you very much for being with us. And if I am not talking to you again, Merry Christmas and have a wonderful time with your family and friends. Thank you very much for all of you.